The small town of Hillview was as ordinary as a town could get, nestled in a quiet valley with its rows of identical houses, and a high school that seemed to be the heart of the community. Hillview High wasn't known for much. Its students were mostly concerned with making it through their classes and surviving the social gauntlet of adolescence. Everything changed on a crisp autumn morning, however, when an unfamiliar student stepped through the school's double doors. Everyone noticed the new arrival. Not because he was particularly flashy or odd-looking, but because his presence felt slightly off. He had an ethereal quality about him, as if he belonged and yet didn't. His name was Axion, a name that rolled off the tongue but felt foreign nonetheless. He stood tall and lean, his silver hair shimmering in a way that seemed almost reflective. His emerald green eyes scanned the bustling hallway with an intensity that unnerved some and intrigued others. The guidance counselor introduced Axion to Miss Carter's homeroom class, explaining that he was a transfer student from a very faraway place. No one thought to question it until later. Axion's voice was soft but carried an odd cadence when he spoke. "Greetings. It is a pleasure to assimilate among you." The class chuckled nervously at his choice of words, but Axion smiled warmly, his grin almost disarming in its sincerity. The first few days were uneventful, though Axion's peculiarities became the talk of the school. He always seemed to know answers before questions were fully asked, excelling in math and science to a degree that left even the teachers bewildered. Yet, he struggled with subjects like literature and history, often asking questions that betrayed a profound misunderstanding of human culture. Why is Shakespeare considered profound when much of his work centers on primitive emotional conflicts? He asked once, leaving his English teacher fumbling for a response. At lunch, Axion often sat alone, observing rather than eating. On one occasion, a group of curious students approached him, led by Jenna, the school's resident social butterfly. "Hey, Axion, you don't eat much, huh?" Jenna asked, sliding her tray onto the table. Axion tilted his head, his expression one of mild confusion. "My nutritional requirements differ significantly from yours. The sustenance provided here lacks compatibility." Jenna exchanged amused glances with her friends. "So where are you from, exactly?" "A place far removed from your immediate understanding," Axion replied cryptically. "Oh, so like Europe or something?" another student joked. Axion's lips twitched into what could only be described as a half-smile. "Something like that." As weeks turned into months, Axion's presence began to weave itself into the fabric of Hillview High. His oddities became less a topic of gossip and more a part of his charm. He joined the robotics club, where his advanced knowledge turned rudimentary projects into groundbreaking designs. Yet, he remained distant, as though an invisible barrier kept him from fully integrating. Only one student seemed to breach that barrier. Leo, a quiet and inquisitive junior, found himself drawn to Axion's enigmatic aura. They first connected over a shared interest in astronomy. Leo had been setting up a telescope on the school's rooftop one evening when he stumbled upon Axion, who was already there, gazing at the stars. "You like stargazing too?" Leo asked, setting down his equipment. Axion's gaze remained fixed upward. "One could say I find it comforting. These stars have guided my people for generations." Leo chuckled. "Your people? You make it sound like you're from another planet." Axion's silence was heavy but not hostile. When he finally looked at Leo, his expression was unreadable. "And if I were?" Leo hesitated, caught off guard by the seriousness in Axion's tone. Then he grinned. "Then I'd say you're doing a pretty good job of fitting in." From that night on, a friendship blossomed between them. Axion began to open up, though never fully revealing the truth about himself. Leo, for his part, was content to let Axion's mysteries remain mysteries. Together, they explored the complexities of human existence, from late-night conversations about philosophy to to sneaking out to watch meteor showers. But not everyone was as accepting. A group of students, led by the arrogant and territorial Jake, took a particular disliking to Axion. Jake's animosity grew as Axion's talents continued to overshadow his own. It wasn't long before Jake began spreading rumors, accusing Axion of cheating and even claiming he wasn't human. Most dismissed Jake's rants as petty jealousy, but the tension escalated. One afternoon, Jake confronted Axion in the locker room, surrounded by his friends. "What's your deal, huh? Think you're better than us?" Axion's calm demeanor didn't falter. "I do not consider myself superior. I am merely different." "Different, my ass," Jake spat, shoving him. "You're a freak." Before the situation could escalate further, Leo arrived, stepping between them. "Back off, Jake. You're just mad because he's smarter than you." Jake sneered but eventually backed down, muttering insults as he left. Axion's expression betrayed a flicker of gratitude. "Thank you, Leo. Your loyalty is appreciated." As winter approached, strange occurrences began to plague Hillview. Electrical outages, unexplained lights in the sky, and a series of bizarre weather patterns left the town on edge. Axion grew more withdrawn, his once curious eyes now shadowed with worry. Leo noticed the change and confronted him one evening. "Is this because of you?" Leo asked bluntly. Axion hesitated before nodding. "My presence here is not without consequence. I fear I may have endangered your community." Leo's heart sank. "What are you saying? Are you really?" "Not of this world," Axion confirmed, his voice barely above a whisper. "I came here seeking knowledge, but my arrival has attracted the attention of others who do not share my peaceful intentions." Leo's mind raced, struggling to process the revelation. "What do we do?" "We must prepare," Axion said, a steely determination replacing his usual calm. "I will not let harm come to you or your people." The weeks that followed were a blur of covert preparations. Axion's advanced knowledge proved invaluable as he and Leo worked to devise a plan to protect the town. The Robotics Club unwittingly contributed their latest project, a drone defense system, repurposed under Axion's guidance. When the inevitable confrontation came, it was unlike anything Hillview had ever experienced. Strange ships descended from the sky, their ominous hum filling the air. But Axion stood firm, his calm resolve inspiring those around him. With Leo by his side, he activated the defense system, a dazzling display of lights and sound that disrupted the invaders' technology. The battle was brief but intense. In the end, the invaders retreated, their ships vanishing into the night sky. The town was safe, though forever changed by the experience. Axion's true nature was no longer a secret, but rather than fear him, the people of Hillview embraced him as one of their own. For Axion, the experience was transformative. He had come seeking knowledge, but found something far more valuable, a sense of belonging. As he stood on the rooftop with Leo, gazing at the now peaceful stars, he couldn't help but feel a deep gratitude for the strange and wonderful world that had become his home.